Now, since I'm much better at selling out than Johnny is, I've decided to send my own version of this section to the editor and he can decide whether or not to use it. With that in mind, remember to check out our sponsor Give Your Game, you won't regret it. And also thank you to Simon Jacobson, Menacing Banjo, and Al Pacino Touche for clicking the join button on Johnny's YouTube channel. And to everyone subbing on Twitch despite the fact that I can't read out all the spam for you at the moment. Remember also, to use #charity when cheering on Twitch.
There are only 6 players who have ever beaten Fairy Peak in a series that's gone best of 5 or more. They are Cuxer97, Devo, Floris, Jesse, OSM, and a certain Ocelon. Now it might seem like quite a long list of names, but with the amount of series Fairy's played, it really is not the case. And the last time that Ocelon and Fairy matched up, it was 3-0 in favour of the Frenchman. Ocelon has looked impressive so far during his 3 league play matches though, so it'll certainly not be a pushover scenario. Will he be able to do the unthinkable though, and take a series off perhaps the greatest 1v1 player to ever play the game? Ocelon has a chance to bring Fairy down to his current level. Will they both be tied at the end of this series? I'm gonna tell you the truth, stranger things have happened. Ocelon is one of the few players to have a series win against Fairy in his 1v1 history. There are very few players in that list, others being Devo, Cuxer, Jesse, and recently OSM. But Ocelon didn't get the better of Fairy every time they played, most recently getting swept like many others before him. If he was to, or if he is rather to get a win today, he needs to play absolutely perfectly. He needs to play as solid as he can. So far, he is looking a little bit vulnerable, but holding his own, tied up for the time being. This is going to be a tough spot for Fairy to get a goal from. Ocelon very, very solid in the 50-50. Reactive player, he snuck in a boost grab here, and now he's in the best spot he's been all game long. But this time Fairy just comes pile driving over the top of this challenge and gets the first goal of the game. Easy as you like. Ocelon trying to mind game Fairy here, but it's going to be difficult to get anything to work this early in the game, especially when he's moving that slowly. I could see mind games working if he's going quickly, if he's dribbling as fast as possible at Fairy Peak, but slowly, I don't know about that. Top corner shot from Ocelon, saved. Fairy Peak must be feeling pretty comfortable being back in the bat, but he's got some work to do, and he will get the save at the last second to keep Ocelon at bay, but only for the time being, as Ocelon ties the game with a beautiful follow-up shot. Great placement here. Great confidence, great power. Ocelon showing up early in this series against Fairy Peak. He needs to do this, and he needs to do it for another 2 games as well after this if he wants to get the win here. It's a good save by Ocelon. Fairy Peak will grab the boost and turn around again. Let's try and crack one past the Dutchman, who is doing better in this league, and he will get it past him. Fairy Peak's flicks have been looking pretty good in the Batmobile in 2018. We've not seen any of that yet this tournament because he wasn't playing the bat, but now he's back in it. And so far, he's looking pretty good. Just as good as ever, some might say. Ocelon with the ball carry. Maybe looking for the air dribble bump, but he will get it with a demo as well. And that is a huge, huge goal for Ocelon to score this early on. Because now Fairy Peak has got to be worried about giving Ocelon any space to ball carry. Should he give Ocelon the chance to control the ball and come at him, we might see a repeat of that. And I don't see why Ocelon wouldn't go for another air dribble bump after seeing how successful that one was. He's opted for the boost steal here. Fairy Peak will be saving up a surprising amount, I'm sure. Ocelon trying to sneak in a shot from the tight angle crossbar to the rescue for Fairy. Again, Ocelon prioritizing boost over ball control. Is this going to be the right decision? It seems like it wasn't. Fairy Peak has flicked another one in. Ocelon here might have been trying to just clip that ball ever so slightly and take it into his back corner. He's got a chance for the kickoff goal. He's got a lot of boost saved up. There's the shot, and it will be the equalizer again for Ocelon. Staying with Fairy Peak in this first game. We're halfway through, and he is really putting up a fight here. Of course, Ocelon is having a very good league play portion so far. A great result against Bluey and Flakes as well, but he's falling prey to Fairy Peak's flicks at the moment. Fairy Peak is always getting ever so slightly better at flicks every time I see him play in the Batmobile. It started off being one of his weak spots in his game, but now one of his strongest weapons in offense, and he's showing us why right now. Make it 5, and it's another flick from close range this time. So difficult to control these with the longer cars, but Fairy Peak has found a way to be consistent with them. That's the first 2-goal gap we've seen this game. Ocelon with a lot to do here. You might think that 2 minutes is a long time to do it, but with how these playstyles match up, it really isn't. Don't expect to see tons of goals from Ocelon when he's behind in these games. Oh, he almost got a cracking save here. Fairy Peak would probably have been able to score any follow-up, but that was a great attempt there. Fairy Peak will barrel right through it and get the save, but there was a chance for Ocelon to just clip his post and maybe get it past him. It's definitely worth the effort with the early dodge. This is what makes Fairy Peak so dangerous. He's not really done anything too fancy this game, and still he's managed to turn it from a tie game about 30 seconds ago to a dominating position, just slapping in a ground shot. Full volley. Now 1:57 left on the clock, and Ocelon's got an almost impossible task. Oh my goodness, what a shot by Fairy. That's going to dip in as well. And Ocelon thought he was safe after this kickoff went so sideways. He thought Fairy Peak would settle for the boost. Fairy Peak's just done a pixel perfect aerial shot, and he's increased the lead to 5 goals. It's just insane how clinical and how solid this guy is. In a game where it looked like Ocelon was going pretty even with him, it's just suddenly become a 9-3 scoreline. I don't know how Fairy does this. Just so effortless, so efficient, so brutal to watch. He's going to make it 10. Why not? Now 7-goal game. Ocelon's probably already thinking about game 2. Thinking about what on earth he can do to try and put a halt to this brutality that he's matched up against. He's not even going to give him a chance on the kickoff. He's staying with this one. Turning away at the perfect time though, just when Ocelon had the slight advantage. Ocelon's in a bit of an awkward spot here. Fairy Peak is gathering boost pads and just trying to keep Ocelon from taking this one to the corner. That's where we will go, and it's actually well done by Ocelon to get here safely, but he's still in such a dangerous position. It looks like he will come out on top of this exchange. Fairy Peak stepping a little bit across the line there, but of course it won't matter when he's already got a 7-goal lead. Right now it's just Ocelon's job to try and figure out what kind of play style to bring into the next game. Does he want to play his own game? Does he want to sit back? Does he want to just react to what Fairy Peak is doing? Or does he want to try and up the aggression, start to challenge early, see if he can catch Fairy off guard? Of course, it's difficult to catch Fairy off guard when he's running the show and choosing the pace of the game himself. That is the difficulty that Ocelon's up against now. Does he try to play his game, or does he just try to play Fairy's but better than him? Not an easy decision. I'll tell you what though, Ocelon is really doing a good job coming back here. He's almost forced Fairy into an own goal. In fact, he has. Fairy Peak's going to put it in his own net on the rebound. And this is almost a forced error. Fairy Peak's trying to swipe that one into the corner. Ocelon cuts across him. And then a bad landing for Fairy. And an uncharacteristic own goal. Gives it just an outside chance for Ocelon winning this one. I'll tell you what, if he can keep on scoring at this rate, it is still on the cards. And not many people have brought back 7 goal deficits against Fairy and turned them into close games, but this one might not quite be over. 3 goals in it. Ocelon needs to keep winning kickoffs, and he will win the first one. Doesn't have much boost, but takes a shot anyway. You know, if he had a little bit more boost in the tank there, it may have been possible. But as things stand, Fairy Peak takes another 4-goal lead. And that will be game. A valiant effort from Ocelon though. And I think he's already shown what kind of playstyle he wants to bring into the next game. It looks like he's just going to try and spot the small openings that Fairy Peak gives him. They are there. They're difficult to spot, but no player is perfect. Not even a player like Fairy, who's got the best 1v1 record pretty much in the entire history of Rocket League 1v1. I don't think anybody's been so dominant for as long as he has. Definitely not as dominant. But right now, we are definitely seeing an interesting series. I'm excited for game 2, see what Ocelon brings to the table. He's going to need to make his A game because Fairy Peak is in the Batmobile. Game 2 gets underway. I'm sure that a lot of people are impressed with what they're seeing right now from Ocelon. It was only the ridiculousness from Fairy that made it such a one-sided game. And that is an ideal start for the Dutchman. He gets his mind game, and look at that. He's spotted Fairy going high on this challenge. Puts himself directly behind the ball. It was straight into the net after the fact. Kickoffs have been going pretty well for him. After that 45-second or so domination that Fairy illustrated for us in the first game. Ocelon is actually going to go for another goal here. Wow, I really expected him to back off there, but he stuck around and he will get the second goal. Bravery from the underdog. Most players would choose to back off there, look for a bit more boost, but he stuck around and he finds a surprising second goal. Fairy Peak was definitely not expecting him to be there. He's coming off his line to intercept. Very controlled performance from Ocelon so far. He's not panicking. Even though Fairy is definitely playing close to his best. Ocelon is finding ways to put goals past him. Put a lot of goals past him last game, and he's already put 2 past him this game. Can he find another? It looks like he will. A perfect flick. And the finish. And Ocelon up by 3. The timing on these moves from Ocelon, purely sublime. Almost a minute in, he's got a 3-goal lead. I've said this so many times in the past when I'm casting Ocelon. He is one of the best players at playing from ahead. And he's showing us exactly why. He doesn't need to go all in for any of these moves. He's just playing calculated. And once again, outpaces Fairy. Can Fairy land on him? Looks like he will, but the ball's on target. Ocelon sacrifices his life to let the ball do the work. 4-0. And this is turning into one of the most impressive performances that I've seen against Fairy Peak all year long. Can Ocelon maintain this level of form? It's not going to be easy. He already knew that when he signed up to play this match against Fairy, who, by the way, is starting to look a little bit tilted. Make that 5-0 for Ocelon. And if you combine the end of last game with the start of this one, we suddenly have a very, very interesting proposition. Fairy Peak's only been taken as far as game 4 so far this tournament. 2 sweeps. Scrub taking a game off him. Was saved by Ocelon. He's recovered well as well afterwards. He's also read Fairy's boost exceptionally well. He's calculating exactly what Fairy can do in every position here. He knows when to give him the respect that he deserves, but he also knows when there may be a small opening to make a play. Fairy Peak with another demolish. Now, a chance for him to finally get on the scoreboard in game 2. He's edging closer. Rolling ball, and the shot is really not good enough. He's trying to snap that one high into the net. It's very difficult to time those. That kind of Sarp-esque shot where you're trying to dodge at the very last second for maximum power. Ocelon mixes in a rush challenge. Fairy Peak going straight off the wall, but again Ocelon calculates his danger perfectly, and he'll counter to make it 6-0. And we are seeing something quite incredible here. Turns out gods can bleed. Fairy can be beaten. And I know people have taken games off in the past, but definitely not like this. You know, it's not over yet, but if Ocelon can keep this up, this will be one of the most ridiculous games that we've seen all year. So half the game to go and a 5-goal lead. If you told him that you'd have a 5-goal lead in game 2 at the start of this series, I think he'd laugh or tell you you've got to be joking. If you told him he's got a 6-goal lead, he'd definitely think you are. But there is another goal. Fairy Peak once again looking a little bit shaken by Ocelon's refusal to back down from these awkward little positions. Fairy Peak's presence, that name tag, usually giving him so much space because players have so much respect for him and what he can do with the ball. Ocelon is calculating very well right now what to do to counter all of Fairy's moves. That might be the best way to play against Fairy, is just don't take any risks. Is that going to creep in for 8? Not quite, but it is now. Ocelon again beats Fairy to the punch. That's going to be 8-0. Fairy wasn't even waiting too long here. He's trying to get it to the side. Not expecting Ocelon to move in. But that's exactly what he's done. We're seeing a more convincing lead here for Ocelon than Fairy had in the first game. This is not an easy position though, and Fairy Peak surely going to put that one in. Yes, he will. And it's never safe. Doesn't matter how far ahead you are. Got to be so careful when you're playing against Fairy. I reckon he's got better comeback potential than Ocelon does, just looking purely at play styles. And Ocelon right now is keeping his eyes fixed on every move that Fairy makes. Trying to read his speed, violence and momentum. He could waste a good bit of time here. This is what he needs. He doesn't need more goals. He just needs that clock to hit 0 while he's still in the lead. It's very interesting from Ocelon to use so much boost when he knows Fairy is probably saving whatever he decides to do, unless he can weasel in another air dribble bump. Great speed by Ocelon. He's just beaten Fairy to another ball. Fairy should be able to recover faster of the two as he got the bump onto Ocelon afterwards. Oh, Ocelon almost getting a demo there. 1 minute left. It's now or never for Fairy. He's definitely going to go straight for Ocelon's goal here. Surprised to see him just going for something so slow, but I mean, Fairy's not really found a way to score many in game 2. It's probably a bit at a loss for what to do. Ocelon's read him so well. It's rare to see somebody read Fairy Peak so successfully. And that, combined with the fact that Ocelon is seeing a lot of possession after kickoffs, gives us hope that there is maybe a chance here for Fairy to lose. I know that there will be a lot of Ocelon fans just supporting the underdog here. And that's actually 10 goals in one game against Fairy. Not many players can say they've done that in recent times. We are going to be seeing, effectively, a best of 3 between these two, starting in the next game. Definitely looking forward to seeing that. And it's, I'm sure, starting to make a little bit more sense now to a lot of people why Ocelon was able to take down Fairy in the past. I believe their all-time record is 2-1 in favor of Fairy Peak. But for today, it is all tied up. 1 game apiece. There won't be any more goals here unless Ocelon decides to let Fairy Peak squeak one in with no boost. I don't think he's interested in doing that. Pull shot clear, and there is the confirmation. Ocelon has just demolished Fairy Peak. Such splendid play from Ocelon. But can he keep up that level of form? He seems to have his thumb on everything Fairy's doing right now. He's playing calculated, mixing in some rush challenges, but for the most part, just getting that one, or maybe even just half a step ahead of everything Fairy's trying to do. But can he keep that up? He's just saved that one. What a save it was, though. Fairy Peak got so many goals by flicking in game 1. And Ocelon has saved the first flick attempt this game. He decides not to go for the demo play here. That's a bit of a risk going for the boost. Fairy Peak will shoot this, but Ocelon gets him to jump too early with the threat of the demolish. Once again, Ocelon looking threatening. Fairy Peak gets it past him. I think he's going to be able to work this one in. Ocelon's way out of the game here, and that is 1 goal for Fairy Peak. Early in game 3, he didn't even have any boost there. Probably just looking for a 50-50, but Ocelon's gone underneath the ball. And now we get to see what Ocelon's made of. It's all well and good when you can get ahead early in the game, but what if you don't? That's a fantastic save. Another flick getting deflected into the crossbar. Ocelon grabbing the boost in the corner. He's trying to bump Fairy out of position here. He could chain bump. Fairy escapes that. Good timing on that boost pickup. Ocelon arriving just as it spawns. He's using it all to try and get a sneaky little air dribble. Fairy Peak is looking a lot more ready in this game 3 than he did at the start of game 2. An early shot will be saved. The advantage is still in Fairy Peak's court. He's missed an open net. He's trying to slot it in the back post. Ocelon was wide right. Here comes Ocelon looking for the air dribble dunk. There's been so many air dribble bumps recently that we rarely see the air dribble dunk attempt now. He's doing a good job in defense for the most part. Whenever he is there to try and counter what Fairy's doing, he looks like he could be the Frenchman's equal today. Another low 50-50. This time Fairy Peak will stay in the way of it. Ocelon is lurking at the edge once again. He's just going to ping this one high and try and get in the way of Fairy Peak's clear ball. He's missed the boost, and Fairy Peak has almost put that one on. Actually, that's a great catch by Ocelon. He hasn't caught the ball, but he did catch Fairy's landing, and he caught Fairy off guard. Another heads-up play. Fairy Peak trying to get a quick recovery, but Ocelon tripped him up on the landing, and he's tied up the game. We're equal in the series once again, and that's got to be, I think, a shock to all of us. You know, when Cucks made Fairy look uncomfortable, it wasn't that surprising given the fact that he has swept him in the past, albeit long ago. Oh my goodness, Ocelon has just sacrificed himself again, this time closer to the ceiling than the floor. And he's gonna win the lead back from Fairy Peak. Wow. He is not holding back. He's throwing absolutely everything out in the kitchen sink towards Fairy Peak's goal now. Another flick saved. Fairy Peak lurking at the edge of the box with 100 boost. Can Ocelon keep him back? I don't think he can. Fairy Peak's got some alone time with an open net, and he's not going to miss that one. 2 minutes and 6 seconds left is when Fairy Peak equalizes. What a series we are seeing, though. We're only into game 3. And honestly, I would love to see this one going the distance. Such an interesting matchup. Ocelon jumping early to get Fairy Peak to contest him, which Fairy Peak did. Fairy Peak never going to shy away from an aerial battle in ones. And he's definitely going to be expecting those mind games a little bit more. Ocelon's weaved in quite a few of them. He's mixing up his offense really well, though, is Ocelon. Couple of long shots, couple of mind games, couple of air dribble demos, couple of bump attempts, couple of flicks. That's what you need to do to keep Fairy guessing, to keep him uncomfortable. And that's why Cucks looked successful against him. Wow, look at that! Triangle shot from Ocelon. And suddenly he's back in the lead again. Fairy Peak thought he was going to leave this one, but he's come in from the side and absolutely drilled it into the goal. Are we really seeing this? Honestly, blinking quite a few times here just to make sure that this isn't a dream. Ocelon making Fairy look like his equal today. And if he can keep this up for an entire series, win or lose, I will be incredibly impressed. Where does Fairy Peak go from here? Suddenly, it might be him that needs to adapt his playstyle. What is he going to do? He's not been able to bully Ocelon into his own half like he's been able to do with lots of other players. He's going to get one more goal, and that's going to be an equalizer. Ocelon was trying to get in the way of it, but reacted a little bit too slow this time. Fairy Peak getting into the air just a little bit quicker and also being closer to the ball. It's that simple. If Fairy Peak can just play his game, play as quickly as he wants to, and just box Ocelon in, I don't know if we're going to see the same outcome that we've been seeing so far. Fairy Peak might try and dish this one in off the backboard. Yes, he will, but Ocelon is there. And Ocelon's staying with this. He doesn't want to give Fairy Peak any space to keep on taking pot shots. He's managed to get out of his own half, but Fairy Peak's still in control of the ball. And just like that, he'll take the lead. Ocelon trying to switch things up. Turn early in the midfield, but Fairy Peak is flicking the ball at the exact moment that he turns. A bit unfortunate there for Ocelon, because I'm not sure Fairy Peak reacted to that one as much as he went for a sort of protection flick. He didn't want to leave himself vulnerable to a rush challenge, as he didn't have much boost. So he's wisely gone for an early dodge through the ball. Now Ocelon just misses a demolish. He's looking for a bump on the back wall. He's going to find it. And no way, Ocelon dishes it in! And just like that, he combines two incredibly difficult to execute moves. He bumps Fairy off the back wall and then dishes in the ball. 12 seconds left. And we're all tied up once again. And it could all end here. Surely it's not going to be a kickoff goal. I think the ball's rolling to safety. Ocelon is going to be a bit worried, but safe. Oh, he almost lets his guard down. One more chance for Ocelon. It's going to be the air dribble bump. Fairy Peak gets in the way of it. Huge save by Fairy. He stayed low there. Ocelon was trying to dive down on top of him. Back to the centre we go, and this time it's in Fairy Peak's half. Up too high for him to challenge. Ocelon with a really good chance here. It's not going to get much better than this, but Fairy Peak's just powered through the ball. A great challenge, and now he's looking for a tight angle shot. Ocelon gets a piece of it. Now long shot for Ocelon. Fairy Peak won't have much boost here, but I don't think Ocelon's going to be able to control this quick enough to really do anything with it. It's actually Fairy who continues forward, low boost or not. He is still looking for pressure, trying to get that mistake. He must know that Ocelon's got to be nervous here. Being in this position, Ocelon wants to turn so badly. He can't see where Fairy Peak is. He's got to just park his car and hope for the best. 43 seconds into overtime, and Ocelon is holding strong. He's had chances to win this one. Fairy Peak pinches it center. Ocelon reacts to it. Looks like Fairy Peak does have supersonic speed to get the ball back under his control, though. A minute into overtime now. Really anybody's game. These guys have been complete equals today. Fairy Peak flicks it. Ocelon barely saves it. Oh my goodness, that was just a bit too close for my liking. And Fairy Peak turns around and puts it in the top corner. And that's why you can never give Fairy Peak any chances. One fairly weak save and a failed wave dash is all it took. Fairy Peak is back in the driver's seat. It's 2-1 in the series. Now, if you're an Ocelon fan, old or new, you better be hoping for more air dribble bumps this game. He's had a good success rate with them so far. Fairy Peak getting a flick to the top corner, but saved somehow. That's an unbelievable save by Ocelon. He didn't even have much boost in the tank. He's picked up 100 in the midfield. Perfectly timed. He's trying again to get that bump onto Fairy so he can score from the side. But all tied up. Explosive start to the game. Fairy Peak launches a volley. Ocelon is going to get a better save this time and a better follow up as well. Fairy Peak's overcommitted. Ocelon takes the lead. And this series is not over. Just in case you forgot, Ocelon has almost matched Fairy blow for blow today. And he's not done yet. You know, I think even taking this to game 5 would be a win for Ocelon. Oh my goodness, that's almost on target from Fairy's 50-50. He doesn't have any boost here, but neither does Ocelon. He's going to stick around for the challenge, and Fairy Peak's going to equalize. And that's a little bit risky for Ocelon. Decided to go for a 50-50 here with no momentum, really. Fairy Peak sneaking in with 24 boost. He's kind of pretending to have none. Really smart play. Ocelon denied a kickoff goal by Fairy's presence. It's a great touch though as he leaves Fairy's half. He's just glanced the ball onto the edge of the field. Give himself a bit of time to grab boost and recover. That's interesting. Fairy going straight up in the air here. Ocelon noticing that slight moment of weakness. He's got to watch out for the demo though. Fairy Peak is right behind him. And he will easily avoid that. And then take out Fairy in the aftermath. He's got a little bit of alone time with Fairy Peak's open net, but taking too long it seems, and somehow he's got it in anyway. Okay, well, I was about to say something along the lines of, and that's not going to work, but it has worked. So yeah, that works. We'll go with that. 2-1 Ocelon. He's back in control. Fairy Peak was definitely expecting a quick shot there. It was a slow one. Oh, and Ocelon. It was a tough stop, but that's the sort of thing he's been doing well so far today. And he will be kicking himself for that. He could have saved this. He's air rolled sideways and then front flipped instead of keeping his head high, hitting the ball into his crossbar. Ocelon trying to demo Fairy on his own back wall. It looks like he's going to concede. Never mind, Ocelon with a huge pre-jump, and he avoids getting eliminated as Fairy Peak comes out of his net as well. Still though, Fairy Peak with a huge chance. Ocelon is hanging on, but he can't hang on for any longer. A brave effort. One of the best saves we've seen all tournament from Ocelon. But Fairy Peak does eventually break down the wall. I guess we can call it the dam because he is from the Netherlands. Bump from Fairy, make it 2. He's got a shot on an open net from the midfield, and it looks like that will be good enough. Ocelon putting it in quicker, which is arguably the smarter play to be making. Who knows, he might have given himself an additional second on the clock there to fight back from. He's got to get 2 goals. I'm sure he'll be thinking positively about this one, given the fact that he brought back so many goals in game 1 after being behind by 7. I think he brought it back to 3, or was it even 2? My memory fails me. But it's still not a position you want to be in, regardless. Really well done there by Ocelon to evade capture 2 times in quick succession. What is he going to do? Looks like he's coming off the wall here. He doesn't have much boost left, or much momentum left, and Fairy Peak with a quick transition makes it 5-2. This is why you want to be careful when you're challenging Fairy for aerial superiority. Ocelon's first touch there really not quite good enough, and he didn't follow the ball closely and guarantee the 50-50. Really nice backflip challenge there though. Ocelon secures himself boost and the ball. Again, Fairy Peak straight away challenges Ocelon in the air. But I believe it will be Ocelon's goal. Fairy Peak putting it in, which is probably a misplay. Maybe he's given Ocelon an extra second with that goal. Who knows? Could have been going 2-14. If we see a 0-second goal, Fairy Peak's got reason to be mad. We'll have to wait and see though. Ocelon back in control of the ball, but not of the series or the game which we're currently in. Fairy Peak easily dispossesses him. He's going low in the challenge, and Ocelon stands strong in the way. Cheeky shot by Fairy. Ocelon still landing, and in comes Fairy for 6-3. It's a very, very cheeky shot there by Fairy, getting a lot of angle on it, and it's also a surprising amount of pace. That's what caught Ocelon off guard. And we're into the same position almost that we were in game 1. It was close, 3-3 even. And then Fairy extended out in front. And it's up to Ocelon to do the impossible. Can he bring it back? Again, Fairy Peak is looking threatening every single time on the ball right now, and he's getting to do his favorite thing, just sticking around. Osselon actually going for the pinch shot. Would have been a great way to score, but he's scored himself rather than the ball. And Fairy Peak's going to make it 7-3. Decides not to slow roll this one too much, as Osselon was coming back. But it's slowly just going that little bit further and further out of Osselon's grasp. His kickoff's still looking strong. He's getting a lot of post-kickoff action here. What's it going to be? Looks like another air dribble bump attempt. Fairy can't save it after avoiding the air dribble bump. This is what I want to see from Osselon, because he's honestly really nearly scored with every single air dribble bump that he's attempted. A couple of them did get saved, but they were only just saved. And it's such a difficult thing to stop, especially in the current state of 1v1 where it's so hard. Will he go for it again? No, Fairy Peak's just going to straight away challenge. He is not interested in sitting on his goal line and getting bumped mid-air. And it looks like you will get one more goal. Fairy Peak back in control by 4 goals. Osselon just could not make up his mind. I'm not sure what he was planning on his last attack, but it was all too slow. Still though, this just goes to show how strong Fairy Peak is. One of the best performances we've ever seen against him. Still looks like it's going to end in a 3-1 win for him. But don't write home about that just yet. Osselon has been getting a lot of possession post kickoff. And if he can get another couple of goals, we're in for a very interesting last few seconds. Fairy Peak looking the more likely to score though for the time being. He's given Osselon a lot of respect though. He's not even risking going for that. He's just going to back off and follow up on whatever Osselon does, and it works out in his favour. Fairy Peak, ever the careful player. He's just looked after his lead very well there. After seeing what Osselon did in game 1, scoring so many goals in a row, I think that's really smart by Fairy to give him the respect that he deserves. Look at that though by Osselon. Massive play after the kickoff, and he's got it back in a 6-9 position. Can he bring this one back any further? That's a really, really nice play though. Fake kickoff, and then he doesn't even go for the back corner boost. Sets up the shot straight away. Fairy Peak would have expected him to go for the boost grab there, because that is common practice. That's a great 50-50 by Osselon. Fairy Peak is coming back. He needs to shoot right now. Fairy Peak has just gone straight to his goal to block it. And it's now or never for Osselon. The ball has to find the back of his net, and it just refuses to go there. Fairy Peak still always finds a way. Even though Osselon put up one of the bravest fights I have ever seen, it will still be the 3-1 win for the best 1v1 player on the planet at the moment. Fairy Peak locks it up 3-1. A brave effort by Osselon, one that I'm sure has earned him a lot of respect, but he was not able to take the series and in fact falls in 4 games, just like Scrubkilla did before him. Fairy is already racing ahead in the standings with an 8-game win-loss differential cushion to sit on, and that's just 4 series into the league play. Tomorrow, Ixo has a chance to take back 2nd place in the league, a huge jump from 5th, but that's what happens when everyone trades games in the middle of the table. To do so, he has to beat his longtime rival OSM, one of the favourites going into the tournament, who has been struggling so far during league play. On day 16, we have another battle between 2 players with the same series score record. That's Bluey versus Scrubkilla. Day 17 sees Cuxer versus Flakes, with Cux still on the hunt for his first series win that's been eluding him so far. And day 18 will be an even bigger test for Bluey as he goes toe-to-toe with league leader Fairy Peak. That's it for day 14 though, and as always, thanks for watching. Remember, always ball chase. Same time, same place tomorrow for Ixo versus OSM. Take care, and see you then. Now, if you're an Ocelon fan, old or new, you better be hoping for more air dribble bumps this game. He's had a good success rate with them so far. Fairy Peak getting a flick to the top corner, but saved somehow. That's an unbelievable save by Ocelon. He didn't even have much boost in the tank. He's picked up 100 in the midfield. Perfectly timed. He's trying again to get that bump onto Fairy so he can score from the side. But all tied up. Explosive start to the game. Fairy Peak launches a volley. Ocelon is going to get a better save this time and a better follow-up as well. Fairy Peak's overcommitted. Ocelon takes the lead. And this series is not over. Just in case you forgot, Ocelon has almost matched Fairy blow for blow today. And he's not done yet. You know, I think even taking this to game 5 would be a win for Ocelon. Oh my goodness, that's almost on target from Fairy's 50-50. He doesn't have any boost here, but neither does Ocelon. He's going to stick around for the challenge, and Fairy Peak's going to equalise. And that's a little bit risky for Ocelon. Decided to go for a 50-50 here with no momentum, really. Fairy Peak sneaking in with 24 boost. He's kind of pretending to have none. Really smart play. Ocelon denied a kickoff goal by Fairy's presence. It's a great touch though as he leaves Fairy's half. He's just glanced the ball onto the edge of the field. Give himself a bit of time to grab boost and recover. That's interesting. Fairy going straight up in the air here. Ocelon noticing that slight moment of weakness. He's got to watch out for the demo though. Fairy Peak is right behind him. And he will easily avoid that and then take out Fairy in the aftermath. He's got a little bit of alone time with Fairy Peak's open net, but it's taking too long it seems, and somehow he's got it in anyway. Okay, well, I was about to say something along the lines of, and that's not going to work, but it has worked. So, yeah, that works. We'll go with that. 2-1 Ocelon. He's back in control. Fairy Peak was definitely expecting a quick shot there. It was a slow one. Oh, and Ocelon. It was a tough stop, but that's the sort of thing he's been doing well so far today. And he will be kicking himself for that. He could have saved this. He's air rolled sideways and then front flipped instead of keeping his head high and hitting the ball into his crossbar. Ocelon trying to demo Fairy on his own back wall. It looks like he's going to concede. Never mind, Ocelon with a huge pre-jump, and he avoids getting eliminated as Fairy Peak comes out of his net as well. Still though, Fairy Peak with a huge chance. Ocelon is hanging on, but he can't hang on for any longer. A brave effort. One of the best saves we've seen all tournament from Ocelon. But Fairy Peak does eventually break down the wall. Or I guess we can call it the dam, because he is from the Netherlands. Bump from Fairy, make it 2. He's got a shot on an open net from the midfield, and it looks like that will be good enough. Ocelon putting it in quicker, which is arguably the smarter play to be making. Who knows, he might have given himself an additional second on the clock there to fight back from. He's got to get 2 goals. I'm sure he'll be thinking positively about this one, given the fact that he brought back so many goals in game 1 after being behind by 7. I think he brought it back to 3, or was it even 2? My memory fails me. But it's still not a position you want to be in, regardless. Really well done there by Ocelon to evade capture 2 times in quick succession. What is he going to do? Looks like he's coming off the wall here. He doesn't have much boost left, or much momentum left, and Fairy Peak with a quick transition makes it 5-2. This is why you want to be careful when you're challenging Fairy for aerial superiority. Ocelon's first touch there really not quite good enough, and he didn't follow the ball closely and guarantee the 50-50. Really nice backflip challenge there though. Ocelon secures himself boost and the ball. Again, Fairy Peak straight away challenges Ocelon in the air. But I believe it will be Ocelon's goal. Fairy Peak putting it in, which is probably a misplay. Maybe he's given Ocelon an extra second with that goal. Who knows? Could have been going 2-14. If we see a 0-second goal, Fairy Peak's got reason to be mad. We'll have to wait and see though. Ocelon back in control of the ball, but not of the series or the game which we're currently in. Fairy Peak easily dispossesses him. He's going low in the challenge, and Ocelon stands strong in the way. cheeky shot by Fairy. Ocelon still landing, and in comes Fairy for 6-3. It's a very, very cheeky shot there by Fairy, getting a lot of angle on it, and it's also a surprising amount of pace. That's what caught Ocelon off guard. And we're into the same position almost that we were in game 1. It was close, 3-all even. And Fairy extended out in front. And it's up to Ocelon to do the impossible. Can he bring it back? Again, Fairy Peak is looking threatening every single time on the ball right now, and he's getting to do his favourite thing, just sticking around. Ocelon actually going for the pinch shot. Would have been a great way to score, but he's scored himself rather than the ball. And Fairy Peak's going to make it 7-3. Decides not to slow roll this one too much, as Ocelon was coming back. But it's slowly just going that little bit further and further out of Ocelon's grasp. His kickoff's still looking strong. He's getting a lot of post-kickoff action here. What's it going to be? Looks like another air dribble bump attempt. Fairy can't save it. After avoiding the air dribble bump, this is what I want to see from Ocelon, because he's honestly really nearly scored with every single air dribble bump that he's attempted. A couple of them did get saved, but they were only just saved. And it's such a difficult thing to stop, especially in the current state of 1v1 where it's so hard. Will he go for it again? No, Fairy Peak's just going to straight away challenge. He is not interested in sitting on his goal line and getting bumped mid-air. It looks like you will get one more goal. Fairy Peak back in control by 4 goals. Ocelon just could not make up his mind. I'm not sure what he was planning on his last attack, but it was all too slow. Still though, this just goes to show how strong Fairy Peak is. At one of the best performances we've ever seen against him. Still looks like it's going to end in a 3-1 win for him. But don't write home about that just yet. Ocelon has been getting a lot of possession post kickoff. And if he can get another couple of goals, we're in for a very interesting last few seconds. Fairy Peak looking the more likely to score though for the time being. He's given Ocelon a lot of respect though. He's not even risking going for that. He's just going to back off and follow up on whatever Ocelon does, and it works out in his favour. Fairy Peak, ever the careful player. He's just looked after his lead very well there. After seeing what Ocelon did in game 1, scoring so many goals in a row, I think that's really smart by Fairy to give him the respect that he deserves. Look at that though by Ocelon. Massive play after the kickoff, and he's got it back in a 6-9 position. Can he bring this one back any further? That's a really, really nice play though. Fake kickoff, and then he doesn't even go for the back corner boost. Sets up the shot straight away. Fairy Peak would have expected him to go for the boost grab there, because that is common practice. It's a great 50-50 by Ocelon. Fairy Peak is coming back. He needs to shoot right now. Fairy Peak has just gone straight to his goal to block it. And it's now or never for Ocelon. The ball has to find the back of his net, and it just refuses to go there. Fairy Peak still always finds a way. Even though Ocelon put up one of the bravest fights I have ever seen, it will still be the 3-1 win for the best 1v1 player on the planet at the moment. Fairy Peak locks it up 3-1.